If you're in the market for a welder, chances are you've been to Harbor Freight. This is one of their titaniums. It's the 200 Unlimited. It's the top of the line in that family. It is the multi-processor. It is a DC welder. It has the TIG, MIG, and stick function. So to my right is the Azzuno 250F aluminum. This is an AC DC welder. It also has the same features, the MIG, stick, and TIG features, but it welds AC TIG, so it's capable of welding aluminum. So let's go through, look at both of these welders, and let me show you their features and what's included out of the box. Let's start with the Titanium Unlimited 200. This is the control panel. They give you 3 adjustments: wire speed, voltage, and inductance. Open up the side panel. They provide you guys with a nice chart to get you started. Just come and decide your material thickness, what gas you're using, or flux or stainless, and they provide you a good base to start from. Really nice to have. Not all welders have detailed information like that on the door. You have a 2 and 10 pound spool capability. The wire feed motor is very nice, all metal, doesn't appear cheap. Here is your spool gun MIG switch. Around back, the power cord is thick. I mean, it's heavy gauge, very nice. This is both 120 and 240. Gas input, on-off switch, fan. They do include the gas line. They also include your gas regulator, which is nice. Not the best quality, but it's nice to include. The TIG gun, which is very nice. Here is your ground clamp. You know, not the greatest quality. It's kind of on the thin side. Here is the MIG gun. Not the prettiest, but it's nice. It'll get the job done. Now the stinger for the stick, I'm not sure about this. It's really tiny. I'm sure it works okay, but I'm sure there's better out there. So that's pretty much what's included with the Titanium 200. You also get a manual, very detailed, and a different motor wheel. So now that we have it powered up, let me briefly show you some of the features. Again, this is your wire speed. This is your voltage. And this is the inductance knob. Now you have a light showing power, alarm for heat, and this is your workload. Now you have your switch for MIG, TIG, or stick. And this is the 2 and 4T function. I'm not sure why people would need that unless maybe you're on an assembly line and you're welding like crazy, but in a nutshell, this feature here, so the 2T, squeeze the trigger to start welding, release the trigger, it stops welding. With the 4T, squeeze the trigger to start welding, release the trigger, and it continues to weld. Squeeze the trigger again to shut the weld current off. Now let's look at the Azzuno 250F aluminum. Again, this is an AC TIG capable of welding aluminum. Really nice control panel, all digital. Going to the side door, 2 pound, 10 pound spool, all metal wire feed motor. Now they do not include a chart, something to give you a guide and you know, something to start from, which is kind of disappointing. I guess you can go online and find something, but you know, they should probably include that. back, you have your fan, wire, power cord, and gas input. This one is a clamp style, not a screw style. Now they include their MIG gun. It's a large MIG gun. I like it, feels real good in the hand. This is the grounding clamp and the stinger for your stick. Now I left these out from the Titanium 200 and I wanted to kind of side by side compare the two. There's the MIG gun. And if you look at the gauge of the cord, it has a nice spring to prevent from kinking up, but the gauge of this cord is so much better. The leads are just better all the way around. Here is your grounding clamp. It has copper on the inside. It just feels comparable to like a Lincoln, where this one on the other hand's very thin. I mean, it's decent. I'm sure it gets the job done, but you're getting much more from the Azzuno. Here's the stinger. Again, heavier gauge all the way around. So let's power up the Azzuno and look at its features. Now I really love the control panel on this machine. You can shift through your mode. You have the MIG synergic feature, the manual, which allows you to make your adjustments on your own. The synergic feature kind of gives you a recommendation for wire speed and voltage. You have your lift TIG and your stick feature. Here is your 2T, 4T, and it has the spot weld as well. So here's the menu for your MIG selection. Now if you go on over to stick, this illuminates and you have the menu for that: hot start, arc force, anti-stick. Here is your wire size selector. So 06 would be 0.25, and then 030 and 035 and whatnot. This is your gas selector. So you have the ability for CO2, C25, or just flux, stainless, and then argon. And again, remember, this is an AC DC, so this can truly weld aluminum, both TIG and spool gun. Now on this unit, I didn't mention it on the Titanium, you have the ability to have both a spool gun and foot pedal. Whereas on the Titanium, you don't have an option for a foot pedal. So here's the side-by-side of both the Azzuno 250 and the Titanium Unlimited 200. Now they both have very similar features. The Azzuno 250 is an AC TIG welder, so it can truly TIG aluminum, whereas the Titanium is a DC TIG. So I mean, I guess it could, but it's not going to do that good of a job. I mean, you can weld aluminum with both if you had the spool gun, but if you're looking to TIG, this one would be the way to go. This one is under $400 on Amazon. This one is $7.99, $8.99 at Harbor Freight, depending on the sale at the time. And in my opinion, if you just look at the features, you get more bang for your buck with the Azzuno. The Unlimited does include the TIG gun, whereas Azzuno does not. You have to purchase that separately. You can get them, an entry-level one for about 60 bucks online. Obviously, these are brand new. The Titanium, I have used the 140. I have not used the 200. The Titanium works well. It does its job. But when you're comparing the costs to this one, I just can't see justifying that price. I think I would spend my money here and get more bang for my buck. Now, even if you include the price of the TIG gun online, you're still well under the cost of this one. So I'll leave that up to you guys. But in my opinion, I would pass on Harbor Freight, and I would definitely go to Amazon. Oh, let me also mention Azzuno's customer support. They're top notch. Any issues, they will do everything in their power to take care of you. Whereas titanium, I believe, is only a 90-day warranty. You can purchase the extra warranty, but I think you're getting more for your money with the Azzuno 250. A true aluminum welder. It's just better all the way around, in my opinion. Now, I will be using both of these on an upcoming project. We're going to weld with both and put them to the test. Let me show you guys what I'm working on. Here is my 17 Titan XD Pro 4X. It has the 5.0 Cummins. Me and the family tow a fifth wheel around the country, and I have the need for a headache rack. I store a lot of, a grill or an ice chest or whatever in front of that fifth wheel, and I have limited space, and items continuously want to roll and kind of hit the window and glass. So I'm going to make a headache rack. But something unique that I saw somewhere is they incorporated their exhaust through it. So that is my plan. Let me show you what I have in the works. So this is what me and my brother fabbed up. It is 14 gauge 4x4 steel tubing. It basically follows the contour of the sides of the cab and the top. The hollow space here, I'm going to make a square hollow part out of flat bar so my brake light will come through, and it also has cab lights that illuminate the back of my bed. I think I'm going to actually add a light bar on top as well. But here at the bottom, this will be the entrance of the exhaust through the back of the bed. So you won't notice unless you look up top. But that is where my exhaust will be directed. Up and out versus out the side. Gagging everybody. So this is the test for the Azzuno 250F. And I will also weld with the titanium, and we'll compare them both. I think they both will do a good job with this 14 gauge. But we'll show them both in action and see how this works out. So if you guys want to see me put these to work and weld up that headache rack for the Titan, if you're into that sort of madness, then stick around. Make sure to like and subscribe.